Yes. You have tuned in to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. Today's podcast is brought to you by Faith versus Fear, Breaking Family Ties, which can be found and available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. This podcast is designed with you in mind to remind you that you can always click that reset button and start all over again. It's never too late to be great. So now I want you to sit back. I want you to relax. I want you to clear your mind. Take in that deep breath. Prepare yourself for change as we listen in on Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. Let's go. Welcome to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast. This is your host, Michelle Cook Hall, and it is my honor, it is my pleasure to be able to come and share some tips and some tools with you guys to assist you in becoming a better you. It's a great day, you guys. I have so much that I would love to talk to you about, but before we get to that, I'm going to just come straight out and tell you we're doing something very different with this podcast. We're going to do something very different. Normally I will shoot live recording with you, but today I wanted to share a clip with you that I shared on Facebook, Instagram, I believe, and other social media outlets as it was given to me. I was in my prayer and meditation time, and you begin to reflect when you're into meditation and prayer. You begin to think and reflect, and things are revealed to you. And in this prayer meditation time, this word came to me about, God putting you in a time out. And it just talks about there's a season sometimes in our life. And I know for me, this is something that I have been experiencing. So this is the way it was kind of explained to me. It's a season in your life where you're just like, you're not being as a progressive as you would want to be. You're kind of resting. You kind of feel like you are being, pushed, set aside and restored, and probably getting physical rest and then you more than you've ever had, or getting that mental rest and you more than you've ever had, and you're kind of questioning, why does it seem like I'm not really, doing as much as I normally, would be doing. And it came to me that, sometimes God puts you in a timeout. It's a necessary timeout. It's something that you need. It's something that we all need. And it's not something that you would necessarily do for yourself. We don't always take the time that we need to heal ourselves, to, get restored and get our strength back and get clarity and get understanding and all these wonderful things that God would like to pour into us and help to strengthen us and show us. A lot of times we want to see, we want to know, God, what's my direction? Which way should I go? What should I do next? And we question. And a lot of times He's not able to reveal these things to us because we're just going, and staying busy all the time. And I know for sure I'm that person. Just, I feel like if I'm not being productive for a day, it was a waste of my day. So I got that like really, 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 really bad. I've been told so many times by those around me, would you please sit down? Would you please, just don't do anything? Can you not do anything? And it's just it's a thing for me. So, sometimes He will allow you to sit back. He will allow you to rest, and I prefer, to sit down. Now, I understand that is important. I understand now that it's important to have those moments where God is like saying, okay, I need you to sit this out. I need you to rest. I need you to relax. I need you to allow me to restore you, because especially if you're a person who are constantly, pouring out and giving to other people, oftentimes we are the individuals who kind of will suffer in silence, won't say anything, and you need to be replenished, right? And so these are times where he can pull you to the side and he can replenish you, he can restore you. But most importantly, what I find so fascinating during this time is that he can begin to reveal things to you that you normally won't see because you're so busy, you're so distracted. It's a perfect word. I think we talked about that in our last podcast together. Distractions, right? So we can be so distracted that we don't see. We don't see. And when you want to give a good word to someone or a good word to share a good word, the best thing you can do is be pushed. Pull yourself to the side, spend some one-on-one meditation time with God and allow Him to impart into you. And so I want to share with you this clip. I normally don't do this on this podcast, and I don't do this on social media. I'm not a person who do a lot of videos. I'm not a person who do a lot of audio videos or facial videos on social media. I just don't. But this word prompted me so that I decided to share this audio. And the reason why I'm sharing it here is because right after I shared this word, I've been constantly hearing people talk about, taking time out or God, placing people in a place of rest. And I'm sharing this because I believe, you guys, that there is something happening in our natural world, but absolutely in the spiritual world, where God has set some people to the side and has said, "Hey, I need you to be restored. I need you to hear me. I need you to get focused. Come on. I need you to be quiet in this season and listen. Just be quiet and listen and watch." And I think that's so important. I think that is so important. I didn't get it at first. I'm not gonna, be untruthful. I did not get it at first. I am getting it now for sure, because there are so many people who are sharing the same message. So if you are in a season, now, I'm seeing this on like people from different age groups, people from different facets of life. I'm hearing the same theme. So you guys, I always share with you what I'm hearing, what I'm sensing, what I'm being directed to share. I'm always going to do that with you guys because I love you, and you can't say that I didn't share it. So I'm always going to be obedient and share. And so because I've heard it so much, and it was given to me before I even heard it, I definitely wanted to share it with you guys. So if you are in a season right now in your life and you're like, what is going on? This is not for everybody. I tell you that often because the next message might be for you, but this is for somebody who have been wondering, what's going on in my life right now? I'm normally very productive. I have a lot of energy. Normally can do this, and this, and this. But right now I have a lot of energy. Right now I just really want to rest. Right now, I'm not, being invited a lot of places. And even if I am, I'm not really wanting to go, willing to go. I just kind of want to rest. I just kind of want to, meditate. Just kind of want to sit back and, and the doors of opportunities are not just like flying open right now. What is going on? What is being done? You might actually be in the midst of this. You might actually be experiencing this, but I don't know. Only you know what you're dealing with right now. But I just know that there is definitely a season right now where people are definitely, being said, "I need you to sit back. I need you to be quiet. I need you to watch. I need you to keep um, your eyes open, your spiritual eyes open, spiritual ears open. Pay attention to what's going on in the earth, right? Pay attention to what's going on in the earth, and I need you to allow God to minister during this season." I talked about that before. That it's imperative that during this time, as you are in rest, while you're in your time out, that you're allowing God to minister. That's the secret of this whole thing. So before I just keep rambling and rambling and rambling, I want to take you to this clip that I shared on social media. I will come back right after this clip is completed. Please be blessed. Please take notes. Please listen to this clip. It was recorded a couple of weeks ago and shared. Just haven't shared it with you guys. But hear this clip that I shared. And that it is very, very important for what's going on right now in the earth. Okay? Be right back. Take a listen. God bless. Hi, family. This is Michelle Cook Hall. And I have a very special message for you today. As I was in my prayer and meditation time, I had this word that came to me. And this word is, God has put you in timeout. Hear me, hear me. God has put you in timeout. Now, when we think about that, we always say, you have to move, you have to be progressive, you have to keep going, keep going, keep going. And I've often taught that message myself. But allow me one moment to tell you about a special time that can happen in your life. A time in which God will put you in time out. I'm speaking from a place of experience, a place where I didn't really understand what was going on. And it came to me as I've taken the time to ask God what was going on. And I heard time out. There's a time for time out. Now let me just give you a quick scripture. Psalms 27:14. That says, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. And then it comes back and it says, wait, I say, on the Lord. Now look, it says wait on the Lord. And then when you wait on the Lord, it tells you to do this. Now just don't wait on the Lord. It tells you to be of good courage. And then it says in that process of you waiting, and during that process of you being of good courage while you wait. I mean, that means you're not complaining. That means you're not, frustrated while you're waiting. You're not questioning God 1,000 times about what's going on, but you have good courage. So while you're going through that, it says, he shall strengthen thine heart. A lot of times we are overwhelmed. We are worn out. We are tired because we have missed the message of waiting on the Lord. Because waiting on the Lord would bring strength according to that scripture. It says, he will strengthen thine heart. He will give you strength. He will give me strength as I choose and decide to actually act upon waiting on the Lord. So I thought about that time out. And I'm like, okay, so what happens in this time out? Why? He said, listen, I need to restore you in this time out. See, some of us have been through so many obstacles. I mean, some real trauma, some real moments, life moments, as I like to call them. And so we are natural as well as spiritual beings. And so in that time out, in that moment of waiting, we need to have a heart of good cheer. Okay? We have to make sure that our heart is right. Because what we don't want to do is sit there and wait and complain, and things, are not going our way, and how long is this going to take, and Lord, when are you going to move? Why is this moving for them and not moving for me? I mean, all these things that we say to ourselves and that we say to God. These are the things that we're not supposed to do while we're in timeout. But he said, if you allowed me to, while you're in timeout, he said, I will work on your heart. He said, I'm going to restore you. He said, I'm going to repair some things in your life. He said, I'm going to show you some things that you need to see. But he said, in order for me to do that, In order for me to even take you to where the next place is, he said, in order for me to even get you to where you need to be, he said, I'm going to need to do some work. I'm going to need you to do some work. And this work is done in time out. I need you to just sit this one out. Not that your time is going to be missed. Not that you're going to miss your opportunity. Not that you're going to miss your chance. Not that the train going to keep on rolling and miss you. No. He said, this is an official timeout. I need you to be quiet. Like just keep your mouth shut. Make sure you're keeping your eyes open, your ears open, but keep your mouth shut. Let me work on you. Let me begin to restore you. Let me restore your mental mind, your emotional health, your physical health. Let me begin to repair the damage from the trauma. See, because there's too many hurting people. And they're hiding it under the name of ministry. Come on, somebody. There's too many people who are hurting people who are hiding under the umbrella of ministry. Too many people have a lot of residue and they're ministering to other people. But he said, let me repair. Let me restore. See, sometimes we think that we're not supposed to have a timeout. Sometimes we think that just keep on going, and I'm a quitter if I get a timeout. No. Even in a game, you get timeout, and the coach will bring you in, and the coach will begin to do what? Show you what your next moves are. Show the team what they need to do so that they can win the game, right? Make sure they're getting their water breaks. Make sure they're getting whatever they need. The towels and everything that they need to get back into that game. There's nothing wrong with the timeout. Somebody hear me today. Come on, Holy Ghost. There's nothing wrong with the timeout. Some of us need this time out. You have been hurt. You have been grief-stricken. You have been broken. You have been bad relationships. You need a timeout. You need a timeout so that God can give you the next moves. He said, how can I reveal something to you if you're not taking the time out? How can I show you what you need to do? How can I show you the mistakes that you making in this if you don't take a time out? How can I show you why you keep getting pushed and pulled around by the enemy? How can I show you how the enemy knows what your next moves are if I don't put you in a timeout and begin to minister to you, begin to show you, and it's a healthy, hear me, this is a healthy move to do. So I don't want to keep you guys long. I just want to share this nugget as it came to me. The importance of a time out. It doesn't mean that you're giving up. Does not mean that you're giving in. It just means that you're taking some time to the side and you're saying, you know what, I can't do this right now. I can't show up to that right now. I can't take this engagement right now. I can't take that engagement now. Why? Because the Lord, some people call it sabbatical. No, the Lord has put me in a timeout because I need to hear from God. It's a shame that in ministry and in church and in life, it seems like you cannot get time to heal. You're pouring out to everybody, but you're not giving yourself a chance to be poured back into. And you're wondering, why am I exhausted? Why am I tired? Why am I overwhelmed? I just can't do this anymore. What's really going on? It's the enemy. No, it's just natural too. You can't keep pouring out so much and you're not putting something back in. If I'm running, I'm sweating, I never deal with the dehydration, my body will respond. Same thing with our spirit. If we keep pouring, and never allow something to be poured back into us, then we will fall. We will, begin to feel the effects of not being replenished. And so I'm just sharing with you today. This message is definitely probably not for everybody. because some of y'all probably figured it all out by now and got it all together. But for those of us who are still learning, and for those of us who still need to hear from God, this is going to be helpful for you. I want you just to take this day to think and to pray to God, ask him, Lord, if there's any areas in my life, any area in my life that, you need to pour into me, that you need to show me, that you need to restore in me. God, I'm available to you. God, I am available to you. So sometimes you wonder what's going on with your life, why things are not moving as quickly as you would expect them to. What's going on right now, God? I don't get it. A lot of times it's probably because you are in a timeout. And that's the time that you don't complain, don't get frustrated, don't get mad, but you actually allow God to do the work that he has started in you, because he will complete what he has started. God bless you guys. I love you so very much. Thank you for allowing me into your homes and into your cars for this little amount of time as I share this little word with you that God has put you in time out. God bless. Oh my goodness. What revelatory message. What time stamped message. What a on time message. Like, I really want you to just date this message. Like, remember the day you heard that message. Because even as I listen to that again, I'm like, wow. Wow. As I stated, and you might have heard it too, other people's kind of on the same thing. And if you haven't heard it yet, and I'm the first, well, great. But when you hear it again, just remember that you've heard this before. And I just look at that as a confirmation that, this is what is being said. This is what's being released right now in the earth, because there is a need for that. Okay? So when you hear something, you hear multiple people say something, it's not that people are necessarily just mimicking each other, but sometimes there is just a release of a word on the earth, and God will, share that message the way that he can, and that's through people. And so this is a message that is being shared. Especially, I think there is a need for it, and that's probably one of the reasons that it's being shared. Because naturally, I think there's a need for it. Spiritually, absolutely. There's something going on, there's something happening, and we can't ignore that. But I think that there's a natural need for it as well, because of the things that are happening in our world. There is a physical and emotional need for such a time as a timeout. As I stated, there are so many things that happen during your timeout. There is a physical restoration, and there is a mental restoration, and there's definitely a spiritual restoration time during your timeout. So, this message was just for those who have been in this place that you're questioning, what is going on, what is happening, right? I have never felt like, this before. What's going on? And sometimes we want to blame it on just, a whole lot of other things, but sometimes you can consider that, there's something else going on. And, there is just a time where we should be quiet, be still, be still, be still, be still. And just listen, pay attention. It's very hard to listen and speak at the same time. It's not possible for me to hear you. You and I are having a conversation, and there's something that I need to hear from you, right? If I am talking while you're talking to me, I can't listen. And one of the major issues with communication skills, and I share this so often with people that I know who have poor communication skills, is that when you're listening to people, you don't listen to respond. You listen to listen, but you can tell when a person is listening to respond because, like, even in their face, if you're face to face with them, you can tell that they're not even listening. You can tell that they've already made up in their mind, that they are waiting for you to stop so that they can give their point, so they can share whatever they want to share. And that is, to me, one of the pieces of poor communication. So in order for us to listen right now to what's going on, to listen to what is really being said, to really pay attention to what's really happening, we need to learn to be quiet, and just watch. Just keep our ears open, our spiritual ears, our spiritual eyes open, and pray. Just pray, meditate, God, what are you saying? God, what is it that I need to hear during this time? What is it that you want to reveal to me? And it might be for you. It might be specifically for you. It might be something that you need to hear, something you need to know. It might be direction that you've been praying about and, asking God about. So we just really don't know. So it is just so important that we recognize that time out, which is difficult sometimes because, as I stated, we want to blame it on everything else and we want to go natural. We want to do a whole lot of things. But sometimes it's just a time out. And I think in order for us to see that, to be honest, you really have to be, in a place where you're willing to hear, where you're willing to accept it, when you will, kind of connected to hearing what God is saying and what God is doing, and to me, for me, that comes with just spending time with God. Okay, this is just simple, and I'm going to move on. But when I used to teach my children about relationships, we just talked about relationships, and I always tell them that when it came to God, I tell them, how do you get to know someone that you really want to know more about them? How do you get to know them? And so I would tell them that the only way that you get to know someone is to spend time with them. Now, you can look at them from afar, you can hear about them and everything else, that's great, but you do not know until you spend time with them. And so that's the way I always just explain to my own children in regards to relationships with God. If you want a relationship with God, you have to spend time with God. And the way we spend time with God is through His Word, of course, and through prayer and through meditation. And so that's how you get to know. You spending time. Like, if I decide to get to know you, if you're not physically out somewhere to get to see each other and spend time one-on-one, then if we're on the phone, we're still talking. We're getting to know each other. And so it's the same thing. The same thing is just spending time, setting time aside to get to know Him. And I think that, the more you do that, the more you spend that time, then you will begin to see, what it is that you need to see and what it is that you need to hear and what you need to know for this particular season and time in your life, and even in what's going on right now in the world. So take this time. If you find yourself fitting this criteria and you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I do see, take this time to, be careful what you allow into your life right now. Be mindful of the information that you're allowing to be fed into you. Like sometimes you just have to shut some stuff off and just go into your little quiet place and get your meditation. You don't want to hear a lot of gossip. You don't want to hear a lot of drama, a lot of mess, but you want that one-on-one time, that meditation time. So, this has been great. I hope you guys have got something out of it. Like I said, today was different. I just wanted to share a little tiplet what I shared on social media. I hope it helped you. Please remember to share this podcast with someone who you know would definitely benefit from this information. You have been listening to Renew My Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook. It's been my honor and my pleasure to always share some tips and some tools with you that I know will assist you in becoming a better you. God bless you guys. I love you, but most importantly, God loves you more.